Hello everybody, it is I, You2Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing Hall Ingass. No, I'm serious, that's the car's name, Hall Ingass. He is from the first Cars movie, racing for Retread. This guy has been out a lot in the past few years, I believe debuting in 2020 with his new Thailand variant. Obviously, he came out back in 2008 alongside pretty much every other Piston Cup racer, barring a handful that got released prior. And he's been around the block a couple times. I don't remember if he was one of, the rarer ones. I know, Eugene Carbureski and Greg Candyman and Misty Motocross were, top 3 rarest Piston Cup racers. I don't think this guy ever was, that rare, but he was pretty highly respected since, he's a pretty unique color. He's got a pretty cool design. And, Cars 3, Retread never came back, so yeah, this guy became very, very sought after for a little bit. But then they started doing him almost biannually. Came out in 2020, then came back in 2022, then in 2024, and now in 2026. He has been out every 2 years. Can't wait for him to come back in 2028. Guys, I'm kidding. I think it's weird that this character has been out so many times within the past few years. I mean, I get it. He is cool, but it's just weird whenever, a non-important character is released that frequently, This is specifically his made in China variant, since, of course, the Cars production has moved back to China. I wanted this guy super bad, and you guys may remember that I got the metallic version a while back, but I didn't have the regular version. I didn't actually intend to get this one, at least not at first. That was my sister who did that. And I'm not going to keep this guy, at least I don't think. I am trading for something pretty cool, though, so I just wanted to review him, because I remember seeing images of this guy leak and thinking, oh, they, updated him to be more movie accurate, and I wanted to, put that to the test and, again, compare it to this lovely metallic variant we got here. So, enough preamble, let's get this guy out of the box. And here he is out of the package. Again, this is Hall Ingass from the first Cars movie. He has a pretty interesting biography. The lore behind this character is that he was actually a pretty big deal in Europe. Then he moved to the States to compete in the Piston Cup. And because he was in Europe, I didn't realize this joke until just recently, but because he lived in Europe, they drive on the other side of the road to us, right? So, usually, cars go like this. In Europe, it's the other way, right? Yeah, like this. Whereas in Europe, it'd be like this. So he was driving on the wrong side of the road and nearly got into a collision. Luckily, his ego was the only thing damaged. So I never realized that joke until just recently. And I think that's kind of funny. I also didn't realize his name had meaning, but I'm not going to get into that now. So let's get him, on here. Yeah, so he's not as accurate as I thought. For some reason, this guy has a really pale shade of purple, despite the movie having a pretty deeper shade of purple. He's also the wrong model, but that's kind of a given. They only ever made 3 Piston Cup racer models. This is the one that they used since 2006 for Nitrate and a couple other cars. Yeah. The thing with these China cars is they're not as glossy as Thailand cars, but they are more durable paint-wise. So, there's that, I guess. I always love the hood on this guy, how it has all these tire marks. It just looks so cool. Retread tire deodorant. It's a little blurry there. He has the 79 on his headlight because, of course, they're just stickers. He has this nice little split mustache. I kind of looked like Hall Ingass for a little bit. I felt a little embarrassed by it. Yeah. Here are the side decals. Yeah, pretty blurry. A lot of people don't like the blurriness of the decals, but it's what we're used to at this point. Okay, something weird about the die-cast is that it has this little red and white stripe here, but on the movie here, on the render, it doesn't have that. I don't know why they opted to do that. That is such a weird detail to put on this car, and it's not an error. This has been a thing on every version of Retread. I don't know why that's there. It's so weird, so bizarre. $79. Retread. You know, I think a lot of people overstate how much of a peg warmer this guy is. Oh wow, those wheels really have that wood inside texture, don't it? But yeah, a lot of people sort of overstate how much of a peg warmer this guy is. I believe they've only put him in like one case this year, or maybe two. Overall, I'm really happy that the Piston Cup racers have taken sort of a backseat after being a primary, being most of the releases for the first Cars movie for the last 2 years. I would love that if they just kept it to a consistent, like, 4 or 5 Piston Cup racers a year. Anyways, yeah, Piston Cup again. Oh, they also fixed the wheel issue, so now the wheels don't jut out like they do on the Thailand one, right? Yeah, I don't know why Thailand did that with the wheels. So yeah, one more little side comparison. I'm going to put the new one on the left and the one I've had since the, last few years on the side. Crazy to think I've had the metallic hauling gas for so long now. The fact that this guy had a metallic variant before Lightning McQueen, just throwing that out there. See, I think I would much prefer just keeping the metallic variant, but I do appreciate the original. Even if, yeah, I do think they updated him to be a lot more... Like, this is basically just like an accurate, even though it's not accurate, it's just metallic, but it's a little better than whatever this is. I want to compare the wheels. Yeah. Just looks like that. Really grateful he hasn't chipped yet either. Like, from what I've heard, metallic cars, like, chip really easily. So super grateful that hasn't happened to my retread yet. Oh, one more thing. He's supposed to have red trim around the wheels, but again, they didn't really do, like, trim around the wheels for older Cars 1 racers, except for, of all characters, Winford, Bradford, Rutherford. That was, like, the one exception. And I think Johnny Blamer as well. Those were, like, the only exceptions to the trim around the wheels. They, like, never did that. Oh, no, it wasn't even Johnny Blamer. It was like Manny Flywheel. Yeah, they really hated doing trim around the wheels for the Cars 1 racers. I don't know why to this day they're so against doing that. I'm really hoping maybe they'll finally take the chance to update, Johnny Blamer and stuff. I'm really interested in what the new China variants of the Piston Cup racers are going to look like. Because, some of them, for the most part, they look pretty similar to Thailand. But then you have, like, Todd Marcus, who's, like, completely different. So... And then the next gens are, like, completely different, too. Like, have you guys seen Will Rush? God, he's amazing. So, yeah, I would say the Thailand version looks better, looks cleaner. I think the best way I can describe the new China decals is... The original was, like, a super sharp mask you put on as, like, a filter. This is, like, trying to blur that so it doesn't look too pixelated, but then you overcompensate and it looks kind of muddy. Like, I think that's what it looks like. Please tell me if you agree with that statement. Yeah, but that's all I have to say about Hauling Gas. Hope you enjoy the review, and I shall see you all around. Bye-bye.